It all started the day Dick decided to dictate his dictum. I was nibbling nervously on nipplewort when Dick, an overly excited pianist who knew how to handle an organ, suddenly ejaculated,
"Grab your balls, we've no time to futz,"
thrusting a sack butt into my hands. "What's the scuttlebutt?" I demanded. "Do you intend to attempt penetration, or are we going to use the knockers to gain entry?"
"Definitely penetration,"
Dick said quickly, vigorously masticating peanuts. Our penal assignment to fetch the legendary booty hidden within the groin vault of an ancient erection deep in French Lick had left us utterly bumfuzzled. Counting in sexagesimal, we squeezed past a pair of great tits nesting near a cluster of pussy willow, fingering the cock shaft suspiciously and trying not to prick ourselves on the screws. Just then, a seismic thrust shook the asphalt foundations.
"Haboob approaching!"
Shrieked a cockatoo, causing me to jerk back into the knob of a shaft jutting from the town's seminal erection. A groin vault haunted by the ghost of a notorious gull groper who'd tried to bumfiddle an ancient text about Uranus. Before I could grope my way through the massive haboob, the shrill vagitus of a newborn nestle cock bustard startled a pussycat into tumbling across the keyboard of an abandoned humpenscrump, creating an unexpected banger and causing a rumpus loud enough to dislodge several dangling nuts. A booby trap snapped shut, narrowly missing my weenus. Dick-sissles began singing their own peculiar banger, their diphthongs blending in strange assonance. Suddenly, the pendulous shadow of something bulbous began to loom ominously. Dick fumbled with his dongle, bumbling like a coxcomb.
"Don't futz around or we'll miss the sextuple spatchcock ceremony at Tetheridic o'clock,"
ejaculated Dick. An enormous sperm whale crashed through the wall, inadvertently striking Dick on his coccyx and causing him to leap skyward like a startled dick-dick.
"A little hump in the coccyx giving you angina again?"
mocked Balzac, a cockapert rector-cum-bum bailiff known for brandishing a bulbous ball-peen hammer while muttering poppycock about penal reform. "Stop futzing with your joystick," I snapped, my voice barely penetrating my frantic mastication of kumquat. Seamen from Pennistone, excitedly gossiping like clatterfarts about the rumored booty, thronged around a stunning thespian cum vulva, who noticed every tittle of detail as her penetrative gaze immediately fixed upon the terrified, shuddering uvula of a bum who'd once tried to masticate a live dick.
"Welcome, seaman,"
she announced with considerable spunk. Between her bulbous jugs of creamy punga oil, she gesticulated titillatingly toward the insertion point marked by an oddly shaped petcock next to a suspiciously succulent tart.
"There's no time for intercourse with these nodgecocks,"
shouted Balzac, furiously jaculating a knobstick toward an invading cockroach mounted on a peacock.
"Prepare to snatch their tools and probe their assets. Mount your asses and show no cunctation."
Before the actress could argue, a spotted dick splattered her face as a booby and a titmouse pursued a woodcock fleeing from a cockatrice, a fearsome organism with the hoary shag of a tit tyrant instead of a cock.
"Get your package ready,"
Dick dictated as the asapan overhead nipped a right pair of melons, the juices spilling onto the fuck sheet of a hooker that had just delivered fresh cockles. Feeling a formication along his coccyx, Dick jerked violently, flailing against a cockspur branch caught on his weenus and inadvertently knocking a knobstick into the sextant.
"Quickly, ejaculate the ramrod at the ball cock!"
Sri Tancock, our newest member, who was a coxswain-cum-knobstick handler known for his skill with a wankle engine. Dick ignored him, inadvertently knocking his weenus painfully against a humpback whale statue.
"Quick, thrust your knob into gear."
We were suddenly swarmed by cumbangs, chasing a cockchafer across the bulge of asphalt, distracting a pusillanimous sexton named Willie who was fiddling with a wiener. Dick mounted the hooker and shouted over the throng,
"Grab a futchock!"
A sackbut player, desperately trying to screw a loose shaft onto the ancient humpenscrump, accompanied by a cacophony of cockatoos, blasted bangers from Bangkok, as I felt a hump of formication form beneath my fanny pack like a bang-tailed beaver. The vulva, nibbling nervously on a wankapin and titivating her cumbersome cummerbund, intoned in horror.
Somebody's bumfiddled my assets!
But before I could even titter or tittle, a woodpecker banging rhythmically on a boobiala distracted me from the induced arsehole reaction. We didn't notice the invagination of reality itself opening silently behind us, evoking visions of Uranus. The overwhelming Haboob had obscured everything. Through the titular sandstorm, penetrating the uvula of the universe, came a haunting call.
Dick, prepare the shuttlecock.